I'm watching something where Russell Crowe is talking about Robin Hood, Longstride, whatever the hell it is, that movie he did. And he's like, hey, he says, this stuff's been going on for a while. He says, I went and I got as many books as I could, and I sat on a boat and I read them all about Robin Hood, you know, the legends and things like that. And I thought, gosh, look how much we have in common. Because when I was at San Jose State, I'd done one college play already. That was one of my goals in life. I actually ended up being the starring role, and I had to be on the stage for 2 hours in a row beating people up and reading poetry. That was called Mom's Crazy. I can't remember the guy that wrote it. I should probably. But that guy, when we were in rehearsal and I got off stage at one point, he came up to me, and it was the only time we ever spoke, the writer. He came up to me out of nowhere and he says, I want you to know I'm very happy that I waited so long to write this, because there I was, an alcoholic, beating people up or reading poetry with a dog. Anyway, the point is, I did that play and it got me some notoriety, I guess, on campus. I was a radio, television, film minor. I won't even make a joke about any of that. My mind started drifting. The thing is, Russell Crowe said he got all these books to read them all. Next thing I know, the director of the next play that I did, without ever meaning to, she caught me in the halls of Hugh Gillis Hall, because I was on radio at 90.5 FM KSJS, San Jose. Yeah. Dawn of Betrayal. Judas. She caught me, the director, and said, we want you to be in this play. And I said, I really don't have time to do anything like that. And she says, you don't have to audition. And in that play, I got to wear fur and beat more people up with a sword. I got to decapitate people. But in order to be prepared for this, a play called Another Finn Mass out of the San Jose State Theater Department, Finn. It's like Gaelic for fine, like blonde-haired. They had somebody else in mind, but he couldn't do it, so they just asked me. Didn't even bother auditioning. To be prepared for it, I went to the San Jose State Library and looked up Finn McCool to get all the books I could about this guy, and there was only one. And I went down there using the Dewey Decimal System and such, and in the juvenile department, I found a book about Finn McCool. Oh, look, I expect this thing must be working. They gave me one of these, and I get to chop shit up. Look at that. Let's take an arm clean off. So I got to be Finn McCool. And I read that juvenile book from the library about Finn McCool. No wonder people are wanting to burn books. They're just so good. He was cutting people's heads off. He was doing shit that you just would never imagine. This is a juvenile book. He killed the fish of knowledge, cooked him, and he put his thumb in it to make sure it was okay, and he had all the knowledge. And in the play I was in, he was wearing the Queen's shoes. But the truth is, it was very educational, being able to look into history, even if there's only one book, and it's in the juvenile section for teenagers to read about cutting people's fucking heads off. Ha! Russell Crowe and I, we read everything we could get a hold of. Mine took a lot less time.